guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Shah and this is Thoroughly Enjoyed Books. Today I am very embarrassed by the book haul I have to share with you because I did a book haul not too long ago in the middle of April and we're only in the middle of May. So I've accumulated all of these books in a month and there's a lot of them. There are 16 books in this book haul that I have somehow accumulated in 4 weeks. Breathe. I'm not quite sure how this happened. Some of it is because of my beautiful friends. I have 4 books that were sent to me by friends. The rest of them I've somehow accumulated myself by buying them. I did write one of them though. So let's start there, shall we? The first book I have is Overshare by Charlotte L. Friers, which is me. I promise I'm going to stop harping on about this, but I just want to mention it now in this book haul because it makes sense. But this is my self-published poetry collection, technically a zine, although it is on Goodreads and Storygraph, and it is a collection of poetry that I've been working on throughout lockdown, all about mental health issues, heartbreak, dealing with trauma and concerns about the world. I started writing this collection, well, some of the poems go back to September 2019, but I started compiling this collection in January of this year. I'll leave a video up above where I talk more about it in order to pour my energy into something productive, something fun, something creative, and all the money from this collection is going towards Calm, which is a men's mental health charity. I will leave links down below to my website where you can read more about why I wrote this and how to purchase a copy, but it is available in ebook form. Physical copies, I have about 20 copies left, if that, so they're very limited if you want to get your hands on a copy, but it's basically just a little zine of poems that I have put together and thought I should share with you. So if you're interested in all of this, leave a link down below. And then we have this stack of books that have come into my possession. Let's start off with the books that I have bought for myself because the shops have reopened. I live in the UK and since basically New Year, the shops have been shut and they reopened in the middle of April, and for the first time you could go into a bookshop or charity shops, have a wander around and actually pick stuff up. I live in Leicester at the minute and we were shut a lot longer than the rest of the UK. We were shut until about August last year, so there was a very small window between August and November when the shops were open for us to peruse last year, so it was a novelty to be able to go into the bookshops, let me tell you. On my first trip to the bookshop, which was I think like the 13th of April, it was the first day that I was in the office since the shops reopened and I just had to pop in. I picked up 2 books, which I think I might have already mentioned in a couple of videos. The first is This Happy by Neve Campbell. This is a Irish millennial fiction novel, similar to Normal People, apparently. It is about a young woman who is 30 at the time of this novel, reflecting on a relationship she had when she was 23 with a married man, and now that she herself is married, she can't help but compare these 2 relationships. It's one that I have started. I got about 65 pages in. I won't talk about my feelings too much, but it is one that I do want to give a go. I know a few people have this on their shelves because we were drawn in by the Normal People hype, and I also really love this cover. I was drawn in by the spine, just the simplicity of it. The cover looks to me like Sally Rooney. I feel like they just drew a picture of Sally Rooney and stuck it on the cover to help with the Normal People sell, so it helped. I bought it. And then the next book I have is Paulina and Fran by Rachel B. Glazer, which was recommended to me, I think, by Anna James when she did a give me your favourite books and I'll give you a recommendation kind of thing that she does regularly. She recommended this. I found it in the bargain bin for £3, so I thought, hell yeah, I'll pick that up. I mentioned this in a previous video and I can't remember which one it was, but Kieran just responded with no about this book, so I'm a little bit scared now. Thanks, Kieran. This book is basically about Paulina and Fran, 2 kind of friends who meet at college and their party lifestyle, and again, just millennial fiction because I'm trash for it. And then the other 4 books that I got myself are all charity shop finds. I paid £1 each for each of these books. So 4 books for £4. Let's start off with the big one then. This is Us 3 by Ruth Jones. Ruth Jones is an actress slash writer, best known for playing Ness on Gavin and Stacey, and I love Gavin and Stacey. I'm literally basic trash at this point. This is, I think, her first novel. I'm not 100% sure, but her other book, I think, Never Greener, was mentioned on Leanne's channel a few months ago, and that kind of brought the fact that Ruth Jones is a published novelist onto my radar, and I wanted to read her, but it wasn't at the top of my priority list. But when you find it in a charity shop for £1, it is your priority, isn't it? So I went ahead and picked it up because it is in this hardcover, and I believe this is about a group of friends right up my alley who've been friends since they were 8 years old, and now they're finding out that adult friendships might be a little bit more complex. So it's about promises kept, secrets shared, and broken promises. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. And then we also have Tin Man that I bought on the same trip as Us 3. So basically when I bought these books, I had been going to the dentist, but I arrived 5 minutes early, and in normal times, not a problem to be 5 minutes early, just sit in the waiting room. COVID times, no, we can't let you in the building. So I went right next door to the charity shop and picked up Us 3 and Tin Man. And Tin Man is a book that I've had on my radar for a really long time. I don't know anything about it other than it is a queer novel, and Sarah Winman is apparently a really great writer. I've not read any of her other books, but this is one that has come up time and time again as a good place to start with her, and again, it's queer, so I was going to pick it up for £1. And then the last 2 charity shop finds I got a few weeks ago when I went home for the weekend. I went to visit my family because I had a job interview and I got a job and I'm moving home. I picked up 2 Daphne du Maurier books. Now, I read Rebecca back in university, in my last year of university, and really enjoyed it, but I haven't read anything else since. And I know that Caris from Caris's Corner and Shannon from 155 Books both love Daphne du Maurier, so I want to read more. The first of which is Jamaica Inn. This is probably her most famous novel after Rebecca, and I believe this is set at an inn on the Cornish coast in Cornwall, and about some kind of like hauntings that go on down there. I'm not sure. I don't really know much about this, but I think it's about memory and, you know, trauma and heartache and just that lingering effect it has. So it's kind of a ghost story. It's got that haunting vibe that Daphne du Maurier is famous for, and I just want to read more of her work. I have been warned there's some very problematic content in this book. I am going to be reading it with the, you know, the knowledge that it was written in the 30s, a long time ago, so it is going to be outdated. It is going to have some problematic language and terminology, but I'm going to appreciate it for what it is, I think. And then I picked up a collection of short stories, which is The Birds and Other Stories, and I didn't realise until I picked this up that The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock is based on this short story. So Alfred Hitchcock directed the original Rebecca film and The Birds. He himself must have been a big Daphne du Maurier fan, so I'm really excited to read this now. This is basically just a collection of kind of surrealist horror short stories. I'm kind of terrified to read this at the minute though, because if you've been following me, you all know that I currently have birds nesting in the loft and it's driving me insane. So reading a horror story about birds, probably not the best thing. Am I still gonna do it? Yeah, just as I said that, the bird started tweeting. That's really creepy. I then got some books off my beautiful friends, and I'm forever grateful for just how amazing my friends are. They spoil me, and I do not deserve it. The first book I have to share with you is from the lovely Victoria from What Victoria Read, and she sent me Franklin's Flying Bookshop by Jen Campbell. She actually sent me this just to send me some love when my hamster Cornelia died, and just said that maybe a nice light-hearted children's picture book would be the perfect pick-me-up, and she was so right. I won't review this, but I've read it and it is beautiful. It's basically about this young girl called Luna and her dragon friend Franklin, who find each other and love stories, and I won't say more than that because it's just beautiful and the artwork is truly stunning. I was then sent Criers War by Nina Varela, which is a sci-fi sapphic romance novel. I say it's a romance novel. I'm not sure how heavy it is on the romance, but it is sapphic at least. And this is set in a world where humans are second-class citizens to like automaton robot type citizens. And I believe it's like Romeo and Juliet. They're a human and a robot falling in love, a forbidden romance, and they're both females, and it's queer and gay, and I'm looking forward to this. I know Sylvie's recommendations are top tier, so I'm so excited to read this. Thank you so much, Sylvie, for sending this my way. And then the next 2 books I have off my lovely friend Hannah, who she spoils me too much. Like, that girl needs to just stop. The first book she got me was The Vegetarian by Han Kang. She was actually selling some books herself, and I asked if I could buy this one off her and she refused to take any money for it and sent it my way. This is about gender and sexuality, not about being vegetarian, although I think a vegetarian wife might actually be a part of it. I'm not sure. I just have been told it's not actually about vegetarian. So I really don't know anything about this book. It's translated fiction. It won the Man Booker International Prize. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. It's really small. I've just heard it's a bit weird. And it's a Korean book. I'm not sure if I've actually read any Korean fiction, so this will just be really interesting for me. And then the last book that she sent me is Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. I'm so excited to read this and I can't believe she sent it to me. So basically, I loved Six of Crows. You can see my vlog where I talk about it. I really wasn't expecting to because I read Shadow and Bone years ago and didn't like it, but really loved the TV show. And I love Jesper, so I wanted to give the book a go.
Editing Shah just here to say I'm not quite sure how I did this. I had to get up 3 times during this video to get books that I'd forgotten, and somehow I still managed to forget Six of Crows. I actually got Six of Crows this month as well as Crooked Kingdom, so yeah, that's another book that I got added to this haul.
And I fell in love and I wanted this right away, but when I went into town to get a copy, they didn't have any. They didn't have any in Waterstones, they didn't have any in WH Smith's, but then it turned up on my doorstep. I said I was going to read it right away, but I did have uni deadlines and I didn't want to, like, A, disrupt my learning by just reading this the whole time, and B, I didn't want to disrupt my reading by studying the whole time. So I put it on hold to wait until my deadlines had passed, and my deadlines have now passed and I still haven't picked it up because I'm scared. I am going to read it. I can't wait to just sit and devour this book. So thank you to my lovely friends for sending those my way. The next book is also a book that my friend sent to me. It is from Caris, a Caris's Corner, but she was just asking for the postage on these because she unhauled 80 books. 80 books! What a queen. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. Go and watch that video where she got rid of 80 books. A queen. And she was getting rid of Mexican Gothic. So I said, I would like that please. And she said, okay, pay for the postage and you can have it. And I have it. So this is about a young woman whose cousin, I believe, gets in touch with the family to say that things are not going well with her husband. The house might be haunted. There's a bit of madness going on. And our protagonist is sent there to find out what is going on. And then it descends into just haunted chaos. I've deliberately avoided reading much about what this book is about and watching too many reviews. I just know it sounds like something I'm so interested in, kind of like Rebecca vibes. That's really fitting considering I just talked about Daphne du Maurier. It's just one of those books that I've been drawn to several times and need to read, so I'm very, very excited to get to this. Thank you so much to Caris for letting me have it. We're nearly there, just a few more books. I'm going to talk very quickly about the book that I got in my Books That Matter subscription box, which I've already done a video of, so if you want to know more about this book, go over there and watch me talk about it. But it is Conjure Women by Afia Atakora. This is a novel about freedom and escaping your past and overcoming trauma. It looks at slavery, it looks at marriage, it just looks at women's lives in general, and I believe it's kind of magical realist. I don't know too much about this book, as I never do when I get my Books That Matter box. I just get it as a nice little treat to myself every month. I definitely need to start actually reading those books though, otherwise it's just a waste. But this is absolutely stunning. I love the colours and the design of this, and it just sounds so interesting that I definitely want to give it a go soon. And then the last few books are ones that I pre-ordered. The first of those is more like a journal magazine type thing, and that is Cunning Folk. This is the Water issue, and this is a journal that is based around mythology, folklore and the occult. It's basically just quite a mystical, magical journal that comes out, I think, quarterly. I'm not 100% sure on that, but basically I got this because Jen Campbell was talking about it in a video recently. She's got a poem published in this, but I'm not sure if I've talked about it much. I'm just really interested in writing at the minute. I've got really into craft and different types of storytelling. I'm really interested in like short stories and short fiction and obviously poetry writing. So I've just been kind of broadening my horizons when it comes to collections, whether those be short story collections, poetry collections, journals, magazines, etc. So this is my first I think, a journal. Quite expensive, but also so beautifully curated. Look at this. Look at the little back with, this is their logo, which I think is stunning. And then inside there's like artwork and photography, and just it's laid out so beautifully that I can't wait to give this a read. So this is the water issue, so most of it is based on water and creatures of the water, so mermaids, nymphs, just all that kind of thing. So I'm excited to actually sit down and give this a go. I then got Working Hard, Hardly Working by Grace Beverley. This is probably the most impromptu pre-order that I ever did, because I'm lazy and I'm not a businesswoman and I don't know what my actual need for this book is, but nonetheless I wanted it. Grace Beverley is an entrepreneur. She's like 23, maybe 24 now, but she's really, really young. I think she's a millionaire. If not, she's close to a millionaire. She's just really successful. She does like fitness equipment and fitness clothing, athletic wear, that kind of thing, as well as running her own like exercise programs and different things like that. And she graduated Oxford and she got into Harvard Business School, and she just does so much and I'm just in awe of her. So I wanted to give this a read and just see if she has any useful tips and tricks. I don't ever think I'll have a business. I don't have any business ideas, but I saw the words how to stress less, and yeah, I needed that in my life because I am always stressed. And then the very last book I have to share with you today is one I'm really excited to read, but I did have such a kerfuffle with this. So basically, I pre-ordered this book in December because I really, really wanted it, but I pre-ordered it from Amazon, and I've always been skeptical of Amazon. I don't really like them, but sometimes they are convenient, you know? But I decided I was going to cancel the pre-order for a number of reasons. One, I wasn't sure when it was going to get to me. Two, it was quite expensive. Three, do I need another book at the minute? So I cancelled the order. And it turned up anyway, and that is The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. Now, when I say it turned up anyway, it wasn't a mistake. Apparently I'd ordered it twice, and I'm not going to get into it all. I just had an argument with Amazon basically, and I ended up cancelling my Prime membership, and I'm angry. But basically this book is about two sisters who have been separated for I think it's 3 years, and then they're trying to find each other again across, I think it's different countries maybe. I don't know too much else about this, but I just thought it sounded beautiful. I love stories about sisters because obviously I've got my own little sister who I love so, so dearly. We've been separated for 8 years now, and I'm moving back near her pretty soon, so that's exciting for me. But this just sounded really, really lovely, and also the cover is divine, so I just wanted it in my life and I got it. So those are all the books. Let me just sort them out. Here are all the books that I have somehow accumulated in the last month or so. Do let me know if you've read any of these, and if you have, what did you think of them? Are there any that you think I should prioritise? Any that you think I should give a miss? Any that you are just interested in yourself and maybe I should get to them so I can talk about them a little bit more? Let me know in the comments down below. I will also leave a link down below to where you can get overshare or read more about it if you are interested. Don't feel any pressure to buy it though. As I said, I have very limited copies because I knew that people weren't going to be that interested in it, but it is a pure passion project for me and I really enjoyed the process of making it. As usual, I will leave the links down below to my Twitter and my Storygraph and all that good stuff. Come and follow me on there and talk to me about books, and I can't wait to see you in another video very, very soon. Take care. Bye.